Hello. Okay, so as per usual, this episode is going to sit across YouTube and also on the podcast. So, hello if you are on YouTube, and obviously hello if you're on the podcast. Unfortunately for you guys, if you are listening on the podcast, you can't see my brand new pearly whites. Look how white they are. They look so good, don't they? I've done some teeth whitening, all safe, it's with my dentist, but it's something that I've been meaning to do for a while, and as part of my little self-care and investing in myself, I decided to go for it, and I feel so much happier when I smile. Anyway, that was completely off topic. Now, today I thought it was about time. If you're wondering what I'm doing on YouTube, I'm just getting the questions up, but I felt like it's about time that on the podcast and on YouTube we did a Q&A that was all around body confidence, weight gain, feeling okay in a bigger body, and people being, leaner than us, and that whole mentality around it. Now, a lot of the girls that I'm coaching, I say a lot of my girls as if I've got loads. I don't. But some of my girls that I coach are really struggling with this, that whole comparison thing. And I got great feedback from the episode with Meg Doll. And I thought, actually, there's so much more that we can dive into this. So I did my typical Instagram thing of ask me a question, and I've got them up here, and I'm just going to pick some of the ones that really resonate with me and I feel I can really help answer. I feel like I'm being so much more professional than I normally am, and I think it's the podcast, guys. I feel like on the podcast I have to talk very clearly, whereas on YouTube I feel like I can just dance and do weird stuff and you'll all get it because you can see my face. So this is a weird concept of me doing a solo one. Again, I'm rambling. Shall we get on with it? So question number 1 was how to embrace not being lean anymore and not getting jealous of lean people. Now, I was actually on a photo shoot. I am a content creator and producer, and I was on a photo shoot for a brand that I was doing some work with, and it was a fitness photo shoot at the weekend. Now, when this goes out, it would have been quite a while ago. It was all COVID safe, don't worry. And I was surrounded by these beautiful girls that I just looked at. They clearly loved their fitness, clearly had quite a good relationship around fitness as well. Like it was a hobby. It hadn't gone too far, or if it had, they hid it very well, but they seemed just to really love it. They really appreciated their bodies and what their bodies could do. And yeah, I won't lie, that sort of, I was triggered in the sense of I looked at them and I was like, oh my gosh, and I couldn't help but fall into the comparison trap. And it was only as I initially did that I fell into it, and I was like, oh my God, I don't look like this. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and then I looked at them and I was like, oh my God, I used to look like, well, actually I didn't used to look like that. I was just skinny. These girls have great physiques in terms of like muscular, muscle mass basically. And they just loved CrossFit, and yeah, they just owned it. They looked incredible. And the initial reaction, of course, was compare, oh my God, I don't look like that. And then I suddenly had to go, but I also don't train like that. And I also don't eat like that. And also when I did really focus on looking a certain way or being into fitness, that didn't work for me. And I think the big thing that I can get across is, look, your journey is your journey, and you've been through all of these experiences that other people haven't been. So what also we have to remember, like genetics, there are so many factors that play a role in why someone looks the way they look, or they can work out the way they look, or how lean they are or whatever. There are so many factors that play a part into why we're all so different. And if we were all the same, I know you probably hear this all the time, but if we were all the same, it would be so boring. And I just had to remember of just being like, wow, actually, I could just be in real awe that these girls look fantastic. They love their sport. They fuel themselves for their sport. And it was just unfortunate that I didn't fuel properly and I didn't find fitness as something that I loved, I fell down this rabbit hole of, instead of doing it for performance and to get better at something, so they're thriving to get better at CrossFit, I was doing it to be a certain size. So that's another factor. You've also got to think that like the intentions behind the fitness, of course they want to look good, like everyone wants to look good and we should be able to look good, but their intentions behind it is also like to be a better CrossFitter, whereas mine never was. Mine was always calorie burn and always trying to be smaller. So I had to step away of just being like, do you know what, actually I do have one option here of completely compare myself and beat myself up that I don't look like that, or I can flip it and be like, wow, that's really inspiring and good on them, and like support them. You know that if you've been here a long time, you know that I talk a lot about law of attraction, and actually I was there to get a job done. I was there to produce a photo shoot that the client was going to absolutely love and the models were going to enjoy and I was going to be proud of. And me comparing myself, that wasn't the job that I had to do there. And if it is, you know, comparing friends or people you see on Instagram, remember, that's not the job that you're meant to be doing. And this sounds really silly, but like what you are meant to be doing is focusing on things that are going to make you feel good. So if it's on Instagram, I would just really recommend, you know, mute the people for a while. If they're friends, mute them. You don't have to tell them that you've unfollowed. I've been very open about the fact to a lot of my friends I had to mute, a lot of my gym friends. So all the girls that I used to work with at the gym, I didn't tell them at the time, but I muted them. And it was only as I was better and I'd healed that part of me that I was then able to be like, hey, unmute. And then I actually like was open to one of my best friends, Claire. I was just open. I said, oh, don't take it the wrong way, but I didn't see that post because you know, if a conversation got brought up around it, and I'd just say, oh, sorry, no, I didn't see that post 2 months ago. So I had to mute you just because I felt as if I needed to protect my mental health, because I just wanted to be in the gym where you were. And it's just about being so open and honest, and just remembering that every single person's journey is different. Sorry, every single person's journey is their journey based on their own perception of their own realities. I know I say that a lot, but it's so, so true. And you know, we aren't all meant to be the same, and your journey has helped shape you, and you should be so proud of where you are right now, and you should be so buzzing that other people are able to do certain things that they love to do as well. And I think if you're feeling that sense of like jealousy about wanting to be lean, to me that's potentially a sign that your self-worth is based on how you look still. And of course it's going to take a while. I still really have to fight about not fight myself, but really challenge those thoughts that, you know, come on, Chloe, you are so much more than what you look like. But is there a way that you can find other things that you're interested in, so you're valued upon something else other than just how you look? That really helped me when I was on the photo shoot, because I was like, actually, I'm not here based on how I look. So me comparing myself is not helping anyone. I'm here to get the job done. And if it's like your friend, for example, you're not friends with them because they're lean. You're not friends with them because of the sort of workout you do. You're friends with them for so many other reasons, and that's the same for you. Like, people aren't friends with you because of how you look, and if they are, they're not sort of friends that you want to be with. That's a ramble, hey guys. Sorry, I just said so many different points. Advice for bad body image days and having patience with mental health. That's question number 2. Bad body image days are very, very common, and in the start of recovery, you will have them quite a lot, you know, that whole weight gain and trying to shred that persona that skinny is better. And if you're from a background like me, where you are defined as the fitness one, and you're having to kind of shed a whole part of you that you never thought you were going to have to get rid of, and that's difficult. And if you are someone that's having to gain weight or reduce your exercise, you may see physical changes in your body, and they can be uncomfortable. We're in a society that is still taught that we have to, like, women should be skinny at the moment. Who knows what the trend will be in a few years' time. Or actually the trend is big bum but muscular, right? So you have to work out, or you have to be a tiny waist, and you have to have no fat, and blah, blah, blah. That's a different subject. But it's about I'm just going to say that with recovery, it does get easier. You will have really tough times. But like I mentioned in the last question, is like just remembering that like you're on this journey for better health. Really, really, really remember your why. Like you're not here now. Like what the journey you're going through, sorry. I've got all of these thoughts coming through my head and I can't get them out quick enough. You are not here on this journey to be a certain size. You're on this journey to get your period back, or to recover from disordered eating, or to have a more fulfilled life. So on those bad body image days, it might mean that I have to wear baggier clothes and I just cover it, and I wear something comfy, and I wear something that, rather than looking like tight fitted and maybe like more sexy, I would wear something that's maybe a bit more cool, so a bit more baggy, like baggy tops, leggings, trainers, that sort of vibe, rather than something that's, you know, maybe going to make me feel a bit more uncomfortable. And so I'd choose clothes quite wisely that day. I'd also just avoid stomach checking. That was something that I did constantly when I was just before I went into recovery. When I was like peak fitness addiction, I would constantly be checking my stomach. And at the start of recovery, I also did that. Whereas if you can like promise yourself or try to make a commitment to yourself that you don't do that anymore, that also helps with the bad body image days. Remembering your why is a huge thing when it comes to bad body image days. So, you know, you're, like I said, you're here for your health. You're not here to look a certain way right now. And then finally, it's just remembering that this journey is not forever. Actually, that's not finally, I've got another point. This journey is not going to be forever. So no one is telling you that you are never, ever, ever allowed to have a physique goal again. No one's telling you that. No one's ever saying that, you know, you're going to keep eating and keep gaining weight and keep gaining weight and that's it. You have to stay that size forever. No one's saying that. What we're saying is during recovery, we have to get your body up to a level of trust and up to a stress level that is able to cope with. So obviously we're not saying that we don't ever want stress. Stress is natural in everyday life. Our bodies have cortisol because we are meant to be able to handle stress. But at the moment, our stress levels are so high in our bodies, we're probably underfueling quite a bit. Our bodies don't really trust us. It's shut down the one thing that us humans are here for, right? To reproduce. And the fact you're not having a cycle, or, you know, if you are having a cycle but you have maybe disordered eating, the fact that you're distressed right now is a sign that your body isn't working as it should be and you're not living a fulfilled life. And it's just about remembering that, like, this, once you recover and once you've got your body to trust you again and you're fueling and you've helped that mindset and you've got really good habits in terms of like fueling your body and exercising, you can potentially, if it's still something that you wish to do, enroll, should I say, on a sustainable workout plan. So I now train girls post HA, and I train girls that are working with their cycles. So the main goal is to feel good in ourselves. But if someone has they might say, look, I have recovered, I've recovered for 6-7 months, and actually I do have a lot, I would like to change my physique and maybe look stronger or maybe lose a bit of fat. I am able to train them in a way that's sustainable for them. And I'm not just saying that, you know, you will go back to pre-HA size, because that clearly wasn't working for your body, but it's not to say that post-recovery, you can't have some form of physique goal. I would just say, if you are wanting a physique goal, please have it because you really desire it, in terms of like you feel like it's going to really help with your confidence, rather than relying on it to your happiness, or relying on it to make you for your happiness, and so you will fit in, because you are so much more than your body. And finally, that leads me on to the final point for this question, is that you are so much more than how you look, and reminding yourself that on a day-to-day basis. When you have bad body image days, of just reminding yourself, like, actually, do you know what? Like, I'm sick at my job, maybe. I'm a really good friend. I do this, I do that. And like, just really try to sit down, and I often write all my real bad thoughts down on the left-hand side, and then all my like then the opposite to those thoughts on the right hand side. So for example, I might say, if I might have a bad thought that says, if I don't track my calories, I'm going to get really fat. Slide like down the middle of the page, and I'll write the opposite, which will be, I listen to my body and eat mindfully in the best possible way for myself and my body. That's a bit long-winded, but you know what I mean. It's about flipping it and being like, okay, these are the thoughts that I found like I'm having at the moment, and these are the thoughts I'd rather be having. And then really focusing on the feeling of how you're going to feel when you feel those, how you would feel when you feel those thoughts. And, you know, meditation, journaling, getting all of those thoughts out, meditating. If you're interested, I'd love to start doing a few meditations for you. I'm actually training to be a meditation coach, and I really do feel like meditation has completely changed my life. If you're not someone that's able to like sit there and be like, if you're on the podcast, I just did like the impression of a typical meditating person. I use sleep hypnosis. So I meditate every single day, but sometimes it's not during the day or at the start of the day. Sometimes it's as I'm going to bed, and I have found that helps just as much. Okay, question number 3. Getting comfortable in summer fitted clothing. Yes, so like I said, it's difficult in recovery, and I would always opt for comfier clothes where possible, and I always did opt for baggier clothes. I'm quite into that kind of like baggier look anyway, so I was quite happy with that. But also there's so many options. I'm a big fan of dresses, and there are so many floaty dresses. The Tummy Diaries has a great wardrobe like staples on Instagram. She suffers from IBS and suffers from bloated stomach, so if you're worried about that sort of stuff, she has great range. But I wear a lot of floaty dresses, I wear baggy clothes, and also the main thing, I just wear a size that fits my body. And sometimes that means buying a few sizes and sending them back. And I just, in that moment, if I'm having to wear a size that maybe is even bigger than what I thought I was going to be, I remind myself of like, clothes are meant to fit us. We aren't meant to fit clothes. Find a piece of clothing, like literally a size does not matter. And if you are someone that is triggered by the sizing in your clothes, take out the label, so then you can't see it. Obviously you might know subconsciously, or like you might be reminded, but just take out the label, cut it out, so you're not focused on that number every time you put on a pair of jeans, say, and just pick the one that fits best for you, send back the rest. I've done a post on this actually. If you scroll onto my Instagram, there's a post of me in an outfit in summer 2019 and then summer 2020. It's exactly the same outfit. The top's the same because it's like this like real loose fitting, like it's anyone could wear it sort of thing. It's like a tie-up one, you know, so it doesn't really matter the like size. And the shoes are exactly the same, but the skirt is completely is the same style, so it's a leather skirt, but it's a dress size up. And in my opinion, I look exactly the same, and it's one of my best performing posts because literally people do say like, oh my god, you can't even tell the difference. And that's the whole point of like, you buy clothes that fit you rather than trying to fit into clothes. Okay, next one. What have we got here? How to deal with the emotional struggle. Sorry, I started reading another one then while reading that out to you. How to deal with the emotional struggle of weight gain, struggling with eating more than those around me. Yes, so, and actually I spoke to a client about this morning, is that she had found that she spent a lot of time comparing herself to other people. So that was including like comparing her meal size, was she eating more or was she eating less, comparing to how frequently she would eat, comparing to how much she moved to other people, comparing to what size clothes she was. And yeah, of course, like it is difficult because we're in a society that tells everyone to eat less and move more. We're also in a society that women should be ladylike and not eat burgers and eat little things, because we should be tiny and cute and petite and delicate. And you know, men eat beef and burgers and steaks and stuff, and girls should eat lots of little cute stuff. And unfortunately, that's like the society we were in, and I do think we are going, and this isn't a feminist, I don't mean this to be a feminist rant, I'm just saying based on like my experiences as usual. Quick disclaimer, all of this podcast, all of this YouTube channel is all my own experiences, and please get professional help if you are concerned about anything. Anyway, that was so unnecessary, but it felt like really necessary at that time, because as our little community, we're tiny at the moment in comparison, but I get so nervous that I'm going to get a troll one day and being like, you can't talk about stuff like this, and I'm like, anyway, lost, move on, got distracted. Yes, it's quite difficult to make those changes, but you can. I often found that there's a little robin outside my window. That's so cute. Also, guys, sorry, distraction again, but I'm quite spiritual. Obviously, I feel like you might know if you've been here a while, and I am very superstitious about magpies, and huge, sorry guys, this has absolutely nothing to do with the podcast, but can we just go with it? There was, every single big time in my life, so just before I bought my apartment, the day I booked Australia, and I can't remember another day. What day it was. And then it's happened a few other times as well, where like I've either had like really good days or like something big has happened. I have seen, I'm not joking, like 10, 11 magpies all in one go, and I salute magpies. So I'm there like, pow, 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 pow. And that's a superstition thing if you don't know about it, but I believe it, and I feel like magpies are like a bit of a spirit animal for me. And on the way home, I was on the phone to my dad, and I literally saw like 11, and I was like, oh my god, today is a good day. Anyway, sorry guys, that was a bit rude to talk about my good day when I'm meant to be helping you guys, sorry. So yeah, the emotional side of weight gain, I am struggling. I would really try to lean on your support network, and really try to, the more you share your journey, so the more you share it with mum, dad, family, friends, the more people actually want to support you. So I find that if I say, look guys, like I need to increase my food and stuff, so can you, like, it's really, really difficult emotionally, can I have your support? So then when it comes to meal times, people are actually encouraging you to eat more, and they're helping you with the portion sizes. I also found that having like an accountability partner, so this is why I coach a lot of the girls that I coach, is because they really need that accountability partner. And it just so helps that I'm a trainer and I have been through it as well. But I had my stepmom where I would send my meals to her to help like keep that accountability that I was going to increase my food. And then the emotional side of things, I think it's just, again, remembering your why. Bring it back. Why are you doing this? Why do you need to fuel yourself? Well, because for years, maybe months, years, whatever, you have not felt you were worthy enough to fuel yourself, and that's why your body shut down your reproductive system, or that's why your body's not quite working with you right now. And actually eating enough and eating more, remembering your why of just being like, yes, because I deserve to be healthy, like I deserve to be able to do what women are here to do, which is reproduce. That's a biological thing. If women, if you are a female that doesn't want to have babies, or that is entirely up to you, but I'm just saying in a biological sense that if you're not fueling yourself, or your stress is too high, your body's going to say, hey, nah, you can't, you're not going to have a baby, it's not safe enough to have a baby. And eating this food is that reminder that you can have health, and you are worthy of health, and you are enough as you are. Boom, mic drop. My camera's going to die any minute, guys, so I'm going to leave this here. If you enjoyed this episode video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube. Make sure you come over to Instagram at Chloe Hodgkinson. I'm there every single day, most days anyway, unless I've told you I'm going on holiday or something, but And if you're on the podcast, please can you rate it and stuff, give us 5 stars and stuff, because it's just a nice thing to do. And if you're on the podcast, make sure you check out YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you check out the podcast. It's called The Female Feel Good Club. I'm rambling as usual. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I love you all. Thank you so, so much for listening to me. And I hope this has helped. And just remember, you're legends, you're worthy of eating, and you're bloody good enough as you are. Love you. Bye.